In this video we're going to look at how we swap out the cloth reference panels. All carbon objects have a reference, and that is the shape the object takes on its own with no gravity applied. With cloth there is typically two choices for reference: flat panels, i.e. the 2D pattern shape, and if the garment has been imported from a design package, then the other choice is the 3D start mesh of the draped cloth. When we export from Marvelous Designer, we export both these sets of panels, and we can easily swap between them to see which look the art director prefers. In this jeans scene, you can see here we are currently using the 3D start mesh as the reference mesh, and we get this look. Our 2D deformer panels represent the flat 2D simulation meshes laid out in X, Y, and we can use these for cloth reference meshes. Now it's easy to swap between the different reference meshes using the Carbon macro swap cloth reference meshes. This is a little picky in node naming so that it's able to match the nodes. First we duplicate the deformer reference group. Then we rename the nodes following the rules, which can be seen by just running the macro. Okay, once we've got the names right, we can select the cloth group and then the reference panel group and run the macro. Now we are given the choice of changing the cloth model. For flat reference panels, we want the tailored model, so we can also control warp, weft and bias. If we are switching back to 3D drape panels for reference, then we would select the face segment crease model. So here we click on the tailored model button. Now here on cloth 45, you can see we have the tailored cloth model selected, and that the reference mesh is no longer the same as the start mesh. And if we look down at the parameters, you can see we now have the option of changing warp, weft and bias for the relevant attributes. Let's run a few frames and see how this looks. So you can see how it's a little bit different to using the start mesh as a reference. You can swap back again to the start mesh as a reference following the same process, just selecting the sim mesh group as your reference meshes. The final point to reiterate is that you must be using flat panels in XY and the tailored model in order to have access to warp, weft and bias. We'll also look at warp, weft and bias changes in more detail with simpler cloths in another video. Thank you for watching.